All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of His only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this word in all sincerity and in truth. And what I wanted to get into is a lesson on the mark of the beast and bring out some information that's coming out and just to edify on that topic, man, because that's where we're on the brink of, man. The mark of the beast is already mainstream, you know. It's just not forced upon the people yet, where people are going to be forced with the decision to receive this, to worship this system by receiving the mark, you know, to pledge their allegiance to the so-called white man and his system, to be servants, you know, under him, perpetual servants, because that's what it is, man. When you take that mark of the beast, you're saying that the so-called white man and his power structure, that's who you rely on. You know, that's who your faith is in. That's who you're a servant unto, and you're glad to be a servant unto him, all right? You know? But if you refuse to take that mark, hey, you're saying that your trust is in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And your trust is not in this system, all right? But that's what we're on the brink of. And in this lesson today, Lord willing, I just wanted to go into how the mark of the beast is being tied into the healthcare, all right? Into this whole healthcare system, and how they're bringing it into the hospitals, man. You know, so, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. And I'm going to start off with the scripture. So this is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that he that is talking about is the so-called white man, all right? And chiefly with starting off with the elites, man, these elite bankers that are a part of the rulership of this present world that we're in, man. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right? Hey, so they're the ones that are really formulating, well, it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because he's allowing them to push forth their agenda just to bring in what Yahweh wants, man. You know, they're just being used as vessels, all right? But they're trying to bring in this system to where they can track everybody and control everyone, man. They're trying to put themselves up as if they're the Most High, all right? So that's the he that is talking about, the so-called white man, all right? And it says, and I'll continue on in that scripture, or bring it out again. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that mark is that RFID chip, all right? You know? In verse 17 it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right, so if you don't have this this chip, this RFID microchip, also known as the bearer chip in various places, you know, the dream ticket in some places, you know, but if you don't have that RFID chip, then you won't be able to buy or sell, all right? And along with that, hey, if you don't have that chip, man, you won't be able to receive health care also, man. It's going to come a point where, hey, if you're in a hospital and you don't have that chip, they're going to reject you from receiving their services, man. And we're going to back that up with a little information in these articles. So I'm going to start off with Salakia. I got a lot of information up here. Let me see. Yeah, so this right here is a video from Ben Kuhn Carson, all right? And he is pushing out the mark of the beast. All right, he's had various videos of where he's come out and said that this he wants to bring in this technology to make healthcare better. All right, but hey, and it's crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but it's funny how you have Donald Trump, when he was running for office, he was saying that he was going to remove all of Obamacare. All right, so then when he came into office, then he changed it up and said, well, we're going to take out certain pieces of Obamacare. Now, they need Obamacare in place because the Obamacare has the mark of the beast in it, man. It says in Obamacare, not quoting it verbatim. As a matter of fact, I might have a tab up with it. That's not it. Let me go down. Salakia. Well, you know what? I'm going to read a little bit of this also because this is going to tie into the information. So I'm going to read this out and then go back to the topic of Ben Carson and how he's going to bring it in. But this is from a little article that I just found out about. It's on Before It's News, and this was published October 10th of 2013. And I wouldn't use this as a credible site because I don't know too much about it, but it did bring out some valuable information. And it says Obamacare page 1004, you must have RFID chip implanted in your body. All right. And let's go down. It says on Sunday, March 21st, 2010, the Senate Healthcare Bill and H.R. 3200 was passed and signed into law the following Tuesday. Like I said before, there are a legion of horrible and just plain evil aspects to this bill, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about them by now. I'm going to jump down a little further to the point. This new law requires an RFID chip implanted in all of us. This chip will not only contain your personal information with tracking capability, but it will also be linked to your bank account. And that links up with prophecy, man, because it says you won't be able to buy or sell. So it's going to have all your personal information, and it's also going to be linked with your bank accounts, all right? And that's why you see these different fiat currency all around the world is collapsing. You know, in India, the fiat currency is collapsing. You know, all the monetary system globally is collapsing, but they're doing this to bring forth this mark of the beast, man, order out of chaos. That's the trait of the so-called white man. He has to create some type of chaos, turmoil, or some type of hysteria around something to bring in the solution to it. All right. For example, with the gay rights thing, you know, hey, they were pushing out hysteria about gays being bullied in school. Gays not being treated fairly, and made the people through their media think that, man, there's a serious issue going on surrounding gays and how they're treated. Next thing you know, people are trying to grant them rights, man. And the same thing that they're doing with the mark of the beast. They're making up different excuses and hysteria why they need to bring it in. You know, for example, you might lose your kid or whatever, as if kids are just being lost by the thousands, you know, every day or something like that, just creating hysteria. So then people think that you need this chip, you know. Another thing, in one of the articles that I'm going to bring out, Lord willing, they're saying how pretty much people with Alzheimer's or that are autistic, like they're just running away and being lost everywhere, right? So they need these chips so that they won't be able to run away and get lost, that you can find them. As if thousands of autistic people are just running out of the house and just being lost everywhere, you know, or people with Alzheimer's, man. Like it's a major issue, but it's not. But that's just the so-called white man being the devil and making some type of hysteria or event occur or bring a hysteria so that they can bring in this chip, and that's going to solve all problems, all right? You know, but hey, that's just the trait of the so-called white man. But I'm going to continue on. It says, and get this, page 1004 of the new law dictating the timing of this chip. Well, I won't worry about that because that's not as accurate. Pretty much they were saying that the chip was going to be implemented at a certain time, but hey, that was a long time ago. But we know that this is the time period, according to prophecy, that the chip is going to be implemented, because it's not according to when the so-called white man says it's going to happen. It's according to when Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai wants it to happen. All right, you know. And jumping down in this is actually from the bill, you know, to show that it was in Obamacare. All right. It says the secretary shall establish a national medical device registry, and in the subsection referred to as the registry, to facilitate analysis of post-market safety and outcomes data on each device that is or has been used in or on a patient, and is a class 3 device or a class 2 device that is implantable, life-supporting, or life-sustaining. And that device is talking about the RFID chip. It says, what exactly is a class 2 device that is implantable? As you saw earlier, it is the device approved by the FDA in 2004, which is the RFID chip. All right. So now we're going to jump back to Ben Carson, because, hey, he's a advocate of the chip. All right. And Ben Carson, at the beginning of the month, Donald Trump just chose him to be in his cabinet, man. Which lets you know that, hey, no matter who was in office, that the plan was going to come into play, man. This RFID chip was still going to be pushed because it's according to prophecy, all right? So let's see what Ben Carson had to say about the chip.
Okay, the way I would like to see healthcare fashioned is in a way that would put the responsibility in the hands of the patient and the healthcare provider. What do you need for good healthcare? You need a patient and you need a healthcare provider. Along came the the middleman to facilitate the relationship, and now the middleman is the primary entity with the patient and the healthcare provider at its beck and call. That doesn't make any sense. What I'd like to see is a system where we have health savings accounts.
Right, and he said there should be he wants to have a system that has health savings accounts, right? So that lets you know that it's going to be tied in with the financial system, man. You know, this RFID chip, to have a health savings account and this chip to hold it, it has to be tied in with the monetary system, man, which goes back to prophecy, man, that you won't be able to buy or sell without this chip, man. So it's going to be able to encompass all these things, man, all your personal data, you know, all your financial needs. Everything's going to be placed upon this chip, man.
Everybody in America has a health savings account. It can be populated with $2,000 every year. If you don't use it, it just continues to accumulate.
Yeah, and they're making it seem like this is just a wonderful thing. They got the nice music in the background, like, oh, this is a great plan, you know. Everybody's going to get $2,000 each year if they have the chip, you know, and I can transfer this money to any of my household. I'm going to just have extra money if they don't need it. It sounds like a wonderful thing, man, but we know how the snake works, man, you know. Hey, he's sly, he's cunning, man. The snake is cunning, all right? And that's the so-called white man. He's cunning and makes it seem like everything's just peaceful and cool, but not letting you know. He's not telling you that if you take the chip, you're going to have to be tormented by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in front of him and the angels, man, with that nuclear fire, them ICBM missiles, you know, as it tells you Revelations, man, all right? But they don't tell you that, man. They just try and tell you the smooth things, man.
And a third of it has to be designated for catastrophic or bridge insurance. And you give people the ability to shift funds within a family. So if one member of the family needs a little more, other members of the family can shift some of theirs to that individual. It makes every family their own insurance company, provides an enormous amount of flexibility. And when you die, you can pass it on to a family member. That would give us an enormous amount of flexibility. Because 80% of the encounters are going to be handled through the health savings account, you don't have a big burden on your major medical and your catastrophic insurance. So the cost of that will plummet. Makes it much easier to acquire. And I would make that something that you could acquire from any place in the country, any place in the world.
Right, so he wants this to be something that you can acquire in any place in the country and any place in the world, man. Which means that this system would have to be worldwide, man. It would have to be global, which is according to prophecy, man, because, hey, the chip isn't just going to be pushed in Babylon, man. The chip is pushed upon the whole planet, man. He wants, this devil wants every single human being chipped, man. You know, he wants to be like the Most High and have tabs on every single person, man. And he needs this chip in everybody to do so. All right?
If they met our insurance standards. Bring it into the free market. That makes it work much better. It has to incorporate tort reform. You have to have electronic medical records, but I would embed them in a microchip.
Right. Hey, there it goes right there, man. It has to have electronic medical records, and he would embed them on a microchip, right? And listen to this devil's excuse, man, because even though he's an Israelite, as a matter of fact, he might be a tear, but hey, he it seems like he's an Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But he's still a devil, man, because he's being a deceiver, all right? Devil just means a deceiver, and that's what he's doing, man.
That the patient can keep rather than have them floating in cyberspace. Because I think
I'm going to start it back a little bit.
Records, but I would embed them in a microchip that the patient can keep rather than have them floating in cyberspace. Because I think people's medical information is much too private, much too important to be floating around in cyberspace.
Right, so this this is the excuse that they bring out. All right, so hey, I think that medical records and whatnot, blah blah blah, hey, they're too valuable to be just floating around in cyberspace or whatever the case may be. So their excuse, hey, it's like, hey, let's just put it on the chip, man. It's just gonna make things a lot easier, you know. We want to make you safe. We want to make things better for you, man. And that's how this devil is. So I'm gonna just play that back one more time. Salakia. Right.
I would embed them in a microchip that the patient can keep rather than have them floating in cyberspace. Because I think people's medical information is much too private, much too important to be floating around in cyberspace. Those are sort of the major components of the program. And I think that could be done for considerably less money than we're spending. Even if the government populates everyone's health savings account, all 315 million of us with $2,000 a year, that's $630 billion. That's not a whole lot compared to...
Well, yeah, that's really the point on that, but that's just to prove that, hey, this chip is going to be encompassed in the medical care system, man. And it's going to tie in with your money, man, with the monetary system, which just backs up the scriptures, all right? That's all this information is backing up the scriptures and lets you know what time we're in, man. But he just got put in Trump's cabinet, so if he comes into office, this is going to be at the forefront of something that's going to be pushed into play, man, Hey, we're at that time, man. And I want to bring out another thing, too, which shows that this is... indeed with the healthcare system, man. We showed you how it's in Obamacare, all right? And then we showed you how Ben Carson wants to push this chip, And then, hey, here goes another bit of information that lets you know that it's already in the medical system, all right? Salakia, let me find which tab it is. All right, so as a matter of fact, and I'll highlight this too because the brother Yashawamba from Dallas, yeah, he had posted a video, and it has all this, where I got this information from, as a matter of fact. And I'll leave the article in the description box, and it's going to have a video that goes along with the information that I brought out. Yeah, with these articles in it, so I'm going to leave it in the description or in post-production, put it at the end. But it had this in it also. It says medical charts, and this is from Christian Truther. And it says medical charts for patients now request RFID numbers. And this is on the 8th. So this is just a few days ago, all right? 2016. It says, along with forced vaccinations, hospitals now recording patients' radio frequency identification numbers, RFID numbers, man. So, when you go to a hospital, they ask for this. They're going to be asking for this information. All right, and this is a picture of one of the computers, that has the information on it. And right here at the bottom, it says RFID number. So we're at that time, man. If you don't know that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast by now, if you're trying to say that it's John 3:16 or philosophies, whatever the case may be, man, you're out of your mind, and Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not dealing with you because the spirit of prophecy, Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. So these things would have to be revealed to you. You'd have to believe them, man, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to be dealing with you. So it says an image from a whistleblower surfaced showcasing the RFID numbers are the latest requests from the medical system. So yeah, man, at your hospitals, man, they're asking for this number, and it's going to come that time, patients that have been there for years, getting cancer or dialysis, whatever the case you may be getting, whatever type of treatment, is going to come to a point where it's like, all right, if you don't have this RFID chip, we can't help you. You ask a patient that when he's going into the office to get his whatever he needs, whether it's some medicine or some type of procedure, and you ask them right before, okay, well, what's your RFID number? Or let me scan your RFID chip. And you sit there and like, oh, I don't have an RFID chip. Oh, well, sorry, sir, we can't help you unless you get the chip. As a matter of fact, we can ship you here for free just to get you in your surgery, dude like that might just be like, oh, all right, cool. Well, I need my surgery, so, let me get the chip. So, it's going to be things like this going on, but, this is just to bring out how this is tied into the medical system. Lord willing, it was edifying, and I'll leave this, these links in the description box, and I'm going to also post this in post-production, just so, this is edifying, man. Brother did a great job bring this out, to the forefront, man. It has some valuable information in it, so I'll leave that also. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.
This bill would allow government to locate people with tracking devices. Measure intended to protect people with disabilities who have wandered away. A new bill that's passed the House will track people. A bill meant to help people with those with developmental disabilities would allow government agencies to locate people with tracking devices. which has some concern. The measure gives the federal government too much authority and power. In 2008, Kevin Curtis Wills, a 9-year-old boy with autism, jumped into a river near a park and drowned. In 2014, a 14-year-old boy with autism left his school and drowned in a river. Chris Smith, who chairs the Congressional Autism Caucus and the Alzheimer's Disease Task Force, introduced a bill called Kevin and Avante's Law, otherwise known as H.R. 4919, in an attempt to prevent these types of accidents from happening. The legislation would permit the Justice Department to award grants to law enforcement agencies and nonprofits for training and tracking devices to find individuals with autism or seniors with Alzheimer's who have wandered away. Is that all, really? Because as we have shown you guys so many times, they're using technology and the legal system to pass their new bills. And of course, what do their new bills include? Things like the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, tracking the police state, martial law, so on and so forth, the NDAA. It just keeps going from there. Now, of course, this measure has two parts to it. The first part, of course, is the tracking device. What constitutes as a tracking device? As you can see on the right side of the screen, something very interesting just took place. There's a new bill that's just gone through the House, right? Well, of course, we showed you this last week. Medical charts for patients now request RFID numbers. Along with forced vaccinations, hospitals now are recording patients' radio frequency identification numbers. This image came from a Facebook post, and of course, the same Facebook post, her name is Lauren, she's basically going to lose her job because she's refusing to accept the flu vaccine, and if she doesn't accept the flu vaccine, she gets fired. Well, this also came from her as well. Medical charts for patients now request RFID numbers. An image from a whistleblower surfaced showcasing that RFID numbers are the latest request from the medical system. And of course, there's a video about it as well. If you want to check that one out, please go to christiantruther.com/news. And as you can see, it's still on the front page. Right there. Let's get that back over here. Okay, so we have this new bill that is going to allow government agencies to track people. Then we also have the medical system basically now bringing about the RFID numbers. We've been telling you this for a long time, but it's coming. They said by 2017, Americans would be chipped. Well, it's just about the end of 2016, and a bill to track people and medical charts are proving that to be true. Now, of course, they say this is for the disabled and, of course, for seniors. But what about the other people? Just as we've seen with other technology that's which involves brain chips for people who are disabled, we know what that's going to be used for. It's all a part of the mark of the beast. Here's this. More truth to prove to that reality that we are all about to be tracked by an RFID chip. I'm not. I don't know about you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this is huge. Get this out to everyone. And please, of course, check out christiantruther.com/news. If you want to subscribe to our unlimited section, go to christiantruther.com/info for more information. And of course, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And make sure you click the bell so you can always be notified. That's all I've got for you. God bless and carry on.